request our President to give his welcome address and presidential address.
Most respected chief guest of today's function and a well-known, renowned academician, Professor M.K. Sridhar, member University Grant Commission and member Draft Committee New Education Policy 2020, the patrons of the association, Mr. Kali, Mr. Angappa Chettiar, the secretary of the association, Mr. Setupadi, vice presidents of the association, treasurer, joint secretaries, executive committee members of the association, members of ASFASM, respected principals of various affiliated colleges, professors, teachers, and all others who have joined for this special webinar session. Before I start my welcome address, I would first congratulate all the distinguished teachers here who have joined this session. A happy Teachers' Day. The association has come forward to organize this webinar on the Teachers' Day to accept and also tell them that they have done a great contribution to the society. The principals of various colleges who are the head of the academic institutions, the secretaries who are the head of the administrators of these academic institutions have played a great role in higher education. Today, you know, Tamil Nadu is one of the leading states in the gross enrollment ratio. When the central government is looking at a GER much lower throughout India, we as a state of Tamil Nadu have been always in the forefront. And the teachers and principals have played a great role towards this. I would again like to congratulate the college chairmen and secretaries and the trustees of the institution who have created this higher education in Tamil Nadu, the teachers and the principals who are part of this great effort. I would like to thank all the office bearers of this association, executive committee members. I would also failing in duty if I don't thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor of Bharathiar University, Professor Kaliraj sir, who has conveyed his best wishes for this program. With this, I would welcome you all for this great session with Professor M.K. Sridhar. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, President. Now may I request Thiru S.D. Chandrasekhar, Secretary, Vellalar College for Women, Erode, for his felicitations.
இன்றைக்கு நடைபெற்றுக் கொண்டிருக்கின்ற தமிழ்நாடு தனியார் கல்லூரியுடைய கூட்டமைப்பின் சார்பாக நடைபெறுகின்ற இந்த இனிய நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு தலைமை பொறுப்பேற்று நடத்திக் கொண்டிருக்கின்ற எங்களுடைய கல்லூரிக்கெல்லாம் வழிகாட்டியாக இன்று எங்களுக்கெல்லாம் சிறந்த ஆலோசகராக விளங்கிக் கொண்டிருக்கின்ற பேராசிரியர் அன்பிற்கு பாசத்துக்குரிய அஜித் குமார் அவர்களே, இன்றைய சிறப்பு விருந்தினராக கலந்து கொண்டு வருகின்ற காலத்தில் இந்த புதிய கல்விக் கொள்கையினால் என்ன நன்மைகள் ஏற்படும் என்பதையெல்லாம் விளக்க வருகின்ற பேராசிரியர் முனைவர் டாக்டர் ஸ்ரீதர் அவர்களே மற்றும் நம் பல்வேறு கல்லூரியில் கலந்து கொண்டிருக்கின்ற தலைவர் பெருமக்களே, செயலர் பெருமக்களே, கல்லூரியுடைய பொறுப்பாளர்களே, முதல்வர்களே, அனைவருக்கும் என்னுடைய முதற்கண் ஆசிரியர் தின வாழ்த்துக்களை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். இன்றைய நாள் ஒரு முக்கியமான நாள். நம்முடைய முன்னாள் குடியரசுத் தலைவர் டாக்டர் ராதாகிருஷ்ணனுடைய பிறந்த நாள். அவர் சிறந்த பேராசிரியர் மட்டும் இல்லாமல் சிறந்த தத்துவஞானியாக, இந்தியாவிற்கு வழிகாட்டியாக விளங்கியவர். அவர் தமிழகத்திற்கு மட்டும் பெருமை சேர்க்காமல் இந்தியாவுக்கு மட்டுமல்லாமல் உலகத்திற்கே ஒரு ஆசிரியருக்காக தன்னுடைய வாழ்க்கையை அர்ப்பணித்தவர். அவருடைய பிறந்த நாள் தான் இன்று நாம் ஆசிரியர் தினமாக கொண்டாடி கொண்டிருக்கின்ற இந்த நல்ல வேளையிலே நாம் இன்றைய புதிய கல்விக் கொள்கையை பற்றி நாம் சிந்திக்கக்கூடிய சூழ்நிலையிலே இருந்து கொண்டிருக்கின்றோம். புதிய கல்விக் கொள்கையினால் சில ஏற்பட்டிருக்கின்ற நல்ல மாற்றங்கள், அதனால் ஏற்படக்கூடிய எதிர்காலத்தில் ஏற்படுகின்ற பல்வேறு பிரச்சனைகளை பற்றி ஆலோசிப்பதற்கு தான் இந்த கூட்டம் மிக பயனுள்ளதாக அமையும் என்று இந்த நேரத்திலே நான் தெரிவித்துக் கொள்ள ஆசைப்படுகின்றேன். குறிப்பாக எந்த துறையில் இருந்தாலும் அது மாற்றங்கள் ஏற்படுவது இயற்கைதான். 10 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு ஒரு தடவையோ 15 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு ஒரு தடவையோ சில மாற்றங்கள் ஏற்படுவது இயற்கை. ஆகவே அப்படிப்பட்ட மாற்றங்கள் ஏற்படுகின்ற போது, அதுவும் குறிப்பாக இந்த COVID-19 வந்த பின்னால் நாம் எத்தனையோ கல்வித்துறைகளை மாற்றங்களை பார்த்து விட்டோம். கடந்த 6 மாதங்களாக இந்த கல்லூரியும் இயங்கவில்லை, பள்ளிகளும் இயங்கவில்லை. ஆனால் அத்தனை கல்லூரிகளையும் ஆன்லைன் மூலம் வகுப்புகள் நடந்து கொண்டிருக்கின்றன. ஆகவே நாம் புதிய அத்தியாயத்தை நோக்கி நாம் நகர்ந்து கொண்டிருக்கின்றோம். ஆகவே அப்படிப்பட்ட சூழ்நிலையிலே நாம் எவ்வாறு எதிர்காலத்திலே நம்முடைய புதிய கல்விக் கொள்கையை பயன்படுத்துவது என்பதால் மிக மிக அவசியமான ஒன்றாக நான் நினைக்கின்றேன். காரணம், புதிய கொள்கையினால் ஏற்படுகின்ற மாற்றங்கள் என்ன, அதனால் ஏற்படுகின்ற நல்ல மாற்றங்கள் அல்லது அதனால் ஏற்படுகின்ற தீய மாற்றங்களை எல்லாம் நாம் சிந்திக்க வேண்டிய சூழ்நிலையிலே நாம் இருந்து கொண்டிருக்கின்றோம். ஆகவே அப்படிப்பட்ட சூழ்நிலையை சிந்திப்பதற்காக ஒரு நிகழ்வை நம்முடைய தலைவர் அஜித் குமார் அவர்கள் ஏற்படுத்தி இருக்கின்றார். அவர்களுக்கு இந்த நேரத்திலே மனமார்ந்த நன்றியை தெரிவித்துள்ளார். இது போன்ற நல்ல நிகழ்வை நடத்துவதன் மூலம் நம்முடைய கல்லூரிகளுக்கெல்லாம் ஒருங்கிணைப்பு ஏற்படுவதுடன் எதிர்காலத்திலே இந்த கல்லூரியினுடைய தரம் உயர்வதற்கும், நம்முடைய கல்வியினுடைய தரம் உயர்வதற்கும், எதிர்காலத்தினுடைய மாணவ மாணவியருடைய வாழ்க்கை முறை மாற்றத்தை ஏற்படுத்துவதற்கும், உலக அளவிலே நாம் கல்வியிலே மேலை நாடுகளுக்கு சமமாக போட்டியிடுவதற்கும் ஒரு வாய்ப்பை ஏற்படுத்தி தந்திருக்கின்றார். ஆகவே இப்படிப்பட்ட நிகழ்வை நடத்தி கொண்டிருக்கின்ற நம்முடைய தலைவர் பெருமக்கள், மற்ற அணைய பொறுப்பாளர் அனைவருக்கும் ஒருமுறை ஆசிரியர் வாழ்த்துக்களை மீண்டும் ஒருமுறை கூறி எனது உரையை நிறைவு செய்கின்றேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
May I request Dr. Nithyanandan, Treasurer ASFSM and Secretary of Sri Ramu College of Arts and Science, Pollachi, to give his felicitations.
Good morning to one and all present here. Happy Teachers' Day, and respected President and Secretary and today's chief guest, Sridhar sir, and respected chairmen, secretaries, EC members, and all teachers, principals, and senior faculties. Happy Teachers' Day. There is a word we call it as change alone permanent. Change alone permanent. This COVID makes many changes, including national education policy. So we must know what all the changes have been done and how it will be affect our system. What are the pros and cons? So today our president has arranged a good seminar to know about this type, what is NEP, what are all the effects will be there, and how we will this NEP will change our institution, how we will get developed. Like this, many things are going to Mr. Sridhar sir is going to explain. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation, Sridhar sir, and thank you to all the participants, especially principals and the senior members of the faculties. And because why I am giving a special welcome to them means they are our implement forces. They are our implement forces. So welcome to them, and then the special welcome and thanks for the participating with this seminar, the secretaries and chairmen. And God bless you all in this most auspicious day. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, Nithyanandan. Now may I request our Bharat Kumar Jagamani, Joint Secretary SVA ASFSM and Secretary of SNMV College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore, to introduce the chief guest.
A warm welcome to all the dignitaries present here for this special webinar organized by the Association of Self-Financing Arts, Science and Management Colleges of Tamil Nadu. Happy Teachers' Day to one and all present here. With profound gratitude, I take the privilege to introduce our honorable guest speaker of the day, Professor M.K. Sridhar sir. Born to M.R. Krishnamurthy and M.K. Sumitrama in Hindupur, Andhra Pradesh, M.K. Sridhar sir obtained Doctor of Philosophy from University of Mysore. M.K. Sridhar sir was a senior lectured in commerce at Vijaya College, Bengaluru, and later served as professor and dean at Canara Bank School of Management Studies at Bangalore University. A trainer and social activist, M.K. Sridhar sir's life sketch was published as a book entitled Sahasrapati in Kannada. He was conferred with Karnataka Rajyotsava Award by Government of Karnataka, Kempegowda Award by BBMP, Bangalore Mahanagara Palika, General President Gold Medal by Indian Science Congress Association. Presently, he is the Executive Council member for Central University of Kerala, Vice President of Indian Red Cross Society Karnataka Chapter, President of Center for Educational and Social Studies, member of Indian Council of Social Science Research, senior member at Institute for Social and Economic Change. So, dear dignitaries and well-wishers, here we have amongst us the renowned educationist Professor M.K. Sridhar sir, member of UGC and draft committee member NEP. Happy Teachers Day and hearty welcome to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Bharat. And I take this as a special opportunity for me to thank our Sridhar sir for accepting our invitation. And now I am very happy to invite him to give his speech.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ವಣಕಂ ನನ್ರಿ. I am able to understand Tamil because my childhood was in Chennai. For 5 years I was in Chennai. So Tamil and Tamil Nadu have played their own role in my life, especially the formative years of my childhood. I spent in Adaya, opposite Satya Studios. So I am ever grateful that Tamil and Tamil Nadu have played their own role in my life. I thank Sri Setupati ji and all other office bearers of Association of Self-Financing Arts Science Management Colleges of Tamil Nadu for having invited me, and more than inviting, for having given me an opportunity to say hello to all of you and to share what I feel and try to understand your concerns and things like that. But unfortunately, I have a limitation. I had explained to Sri Setupati ji yesterday that I need to wind up my interaction with you by around 11:15, 11:20 maximum, because I had to proceed to the official Teachers' Day function celebration of Government of Karnataka, where the Chief Minister and others will be coming. So I need to rush. Nevertheless, I am very happy that Tamil Nadu has a very good gross enrollment ratio, as our President was saying. Not only in terms of quantity, but if you take the number of autonomous colleges in the country, the highest number of autonomous colleges probably must be from Tamil Nadu. And in addition, you please see your own association. I was told that you have more than 200 members, colleges. And I have not really come across art science management colleges coming together as an association. Technical colleges, yes. Medical colleges, yes. B.Ed colleges, yes. But I have not seen, means I may have limitation of not knowing, but still, from a general observation, I feel these colleges have come together, and I'm able to see the systematic and professional approach to the entire dealing. The first day I spoke to Sethupathi ji over phone, starting from the time of his calling, he said that he will call me at 10 o'clock, and he called me at 10 o'clock. Starting from that up to now, until now, I am able to see in each and every step, you are very systematic, you are very meticulous, and you are very professional. And this goes a long way in imparting quality education. See, education institution, running an educational institution, if we can do it with lot of meticulousness, systems, and professionalism, we can do far much better, and the effectiveness will be more. So I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate your association, and for having built an association like that, and for having also internalized that kind of culture in you. Very happy. Now, so let me take again this opportunity to wish all of you Happy Teachers' Day, and being the birthday of Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, who is a great educationist. When people went to him that we would like to celebrate your birthday, then he said, don't celebrate but celebrate as Teachers' Day. So that's very, very important. I was actually part of another teachers' college function from 9:30 to 10:30, when everybody was wishing everybody else Happy Teachers' Day. Then I asked them, when you are using a term happy, whose happiness you are working for? Is it the happiness of the teachers? Is it the happiness of students? Or is it the happiness of society? I think all of us are working for the happiness of the society. Thank you. All the best. Coming to the National Education Policy, as all of you may be knowing, after independence, this is the third national policy. First was in 1968. It is based on the report of Kothari Commission. Second was in 1986. It was not based on any committee, but series of things resulted in that, which was slightly amended in 92 as program of action. So after 34 years, a new policy has come. And in the last 34 years, our education field, our country, and our entire world have gone through lot of changes. Lot of paradigm shift has happened. So therefore, any policy that comes, for example, this national education policy, it has to fit into the context and the future that is going to come. That's why the other day, while speaking in a webinar, I compared this policy to a long jump. Long jump. How can you compare it to long jump? Because if you have to have a long jump, the person who is going to jump will hold that stick, and then that person goes back. he will go a particular distance. Then he will come running toward the jumping pit. And then once he comes nearer, he will use the stick and jump. He will stand on the stick and jump. And he will be jumping forward. So the policy also, it visited the past, it stood on the present, and it is aiming for future. If you have to really work towards future, you'll have to take a long jump. Then only you can land yourself in a safe, good education. And this policy, friends, because you're all people who are involved in, leading the institutions, I don't call it as managing the institutions. Leading the institutions either as academic heads or administrative heads or whatever it is. There are few very important features which are extremely critical for institutions like ours. When you talk of higher educational institutions, there can be only two entities here. One is the universities, the other one is the college. But for a long time, even though the college is the micro unit for higher education, it is the micro unit of higher education. But somehow, in our entire discourse on higher education, we were talking more and more about universities and things like that. But colleges somehow did not get that due place and due attention. What this higher education policy, this policy on higher education says is, one few features I will explain, then I will try to go into the implications. The first one is, the higher education institutions, when I am saying here, please take that as a reference for colleges. I will be talking less about universities. See, the institutions, the colleges, they have to become a multidisciplinary colleges. First important thing that we have to take is, every college has to become multidisciplinary. That means the kind of courses that you offer, it should not be only one kind of discipline. You must be in a position to offer different courses representing different disciplines. Why is it like that? That's primarily because when you focus your attention only on one discipline, the kind of knowledge that you get, the kind of perspective that you get is very limited. See, for example, all these years, many colleges, in fact, the latest survey in higher education says 40% of the 40,000 colleges of India, they have single program, single discipline. 40% of the 40,000 colleges. Apart from B.Ed colleges, I am talking this apart from B.Ed colleges. That means more than 50% of the colleges, they offer one program, one discipline. That is not higher education. So the policy says that every college must be a multidisciplinary college. And not only that, when there is a multidisciplinary college, different students and teachers of different disciplines come. They stay in the same campus. They try to be together. they participate, they interact. I think this is a very, very important thing. To develop that broader perspective, see, if I start as a commerce student, ending my life as a commerce is meaningless. See, I need to pick up other things. If I start as a science fellow, then I must also know a little bit of economics. And if I am an arts fellow, I must also know a little bit of botany. Am I right? So this kind of that diversity is needed. That's why it has to be a multidisciplinary college. The second thing of the policy which is going to say is that college, if it has to be a multidisciplinary, then the size of the campus must be little bigger. You know, we are having more and more number of small colleges. When you have small colleges, one is the economy of scale is one thing, the viability. But much more than that, you cannot have a multidisciplinary setup. If you have to have students from different disciplines and all that, if they have to come, you know, the college must be little, size must be little bigger. Then only you will have a campus life, you will have all kinds of things that are coming through. If it is so small, then the viability of the college also becomes extremely important, difficult. So the colleges must be little larger. The third issue that feature of the policy which will have a lot of bearing on is the so-called affiliation system of the universities gradually will be discontinued. I don't know, Bharatiyar University or other universities that you have in your state, they must be having 200, 300 colleges. What is affiliated college system? The system is the university will design a program, will design the syllabus, will design how many hours and all that, timetable, question paper, examination, the valuation, declaration of result, everything the university does. What is it the college does? The college only follows the instructions of the university, engages the teachers to teach and conduct the examination. Am I right? So this affiliation system has to go because there are only 2-3 countries in the entire world who have the affiliation system. Even, see, for example, our affiliation system followed the model of University of London. London used, because of British system, legacy, colonial regime. You know, University of London, it started as a affiliating university. Even before we got independent, University of London discontinued affiliation system. But we continued it even after 70 plus years. So the affiliation system will not strengthen the colleges. The college can never become, as far as possible by design, it cannot become a center of excellence. The reason being that everything is done by the university and the college is dependent on the university. So the affiliation system gradually being disappearing, you know, you will have to become on your own. On your own means autonomous. But the autonomy will not happen just like that. The kind of autonomy system that we had till now, either affiliated or autonomous. There will be graded autonomous state. There will be degree of autonomy that will be given. So if you are eligible for first grade of autonomy, you will be given that. and then your performance will be seen. If you do well, then you will be taken to the next grade. Then you will be taken to the next grade. And it will also be the accreditation process will also be looked into. After all this, if you are extremely good in all these steps, then only you will be getting the final total autonomy. And if the college gets the full autonomy, then the college can award their own degrees. The colleges can award their own degrees. They can design their own courses. They can design their own curriculum. You can always have your own pedagogy. You can always have new subjects, new methodologies, tie-ups with industry, vocational courses, skill development. All that can be brought in if you have autonomy. For example, somebody was telling that somebody is from Coimbatore, the college. Coimbatore is the beacon light of machine tool industry, friends. But if machine tool related anything has to be offered, it has to come from Anna University. Erode. Erode is known for handloom industry. Am I right? Now, if your young people of Erode and other adjoining districts, if they have to be trained in handloom industry, it has to come from your university, and it has to come from UGC. Now you have an opportunity of offering all that. So the third point is the autonomy. And autonomy, in a way, you can give your degrees, and the colleges can become universities. They can become teaching intensive universities, and later on they can become research intensive universities also. So therefore, the colleges have to maintain themselves. And the undergraduate program will be multiple entry and multiple exit. There will be a credit system, academic bank of credit. Any student who completes a course will be reflected in the number of credits, and that credits will be in the account of the student. And whenever you want to continue, by any chance if you discontinue and would like to come back, then the same credits can continue. It is not based on the syllabus. Now what happens? A particular scheme is there. After a few years, that scheme discontinues, and new scheme will come. And if the student rejoins after the commencement of the new scheme, then the student cannot take the old examination. Everything would have changed. This creates a huge lot of problems. And not only that, the student will have a combination of subjects, nothing like art, science, commerce. It is bachelor's degree, maximum of 4 years. After first year, you will be given a certificate if you complete and get that much of credit. And if you complete the second year, you will get a diploma. And if you complete the third year, you will get a degree. And fourth year will be a completely research-focused degree. So therefore, friends, from all this, what I feel is the college, its leadership, its management, its creativity, its innovation, its teachers, its management, its students, its ecosystem, its interaction with society, its interaction with industry, that is going to be very, very critical in the days to come. If a degree awarded my college, if it has to be recognized, I cannot hold the hat of the university. Till now, I was having the hat of the university. In the days to come, I am not saying immediately, but it will take some time. After a few years, the hat of the university will be removed, and your own forehead has to be seen. What is the kind of forehead you have, you will have to decide. So this is the kind of system that is going to come. And over a period of time, it is also proposed that this technical and other institutions which are very exclusive, they must also become part and parcel of higher education, and they must try to mingle with each other. Technical courses will have to take a lot of credit courses in arts, humanities, etc. Arts, humanities can take technical. Like that kind of exchange will happen. And there has to be more and more give and take between colleges. Give and take between colleges. Because you'll have to offer different combinations. You may not necessarily have teachers, full-time teachers for all subjects that you offer. Then you tie up with a college. For that subject, the students go there, or the teacher will come here. So this kind of, the boundaries of colleges are going to change as a result. This kind of associations, what you have, will go a long way in bringing about this kind of collaboration. Not only in the same place, but in that district in a different taluk also. So this is going to matter with regard to national higher education policy. Because of the limitation of time, I am unable to take your questions, but I can always promise you that if any such session is organized in the next couple of weeks, I can always come back to you, and I will not speak, I'll only address your questions. And I can always be available for that, because we want this policy to be implemented, because it's a great opportunity for all of us. And if this policy becomes successful, the colleges and higher educational institutions will emerge strong. If I had to say, if the higher education scenario of Tamil Nadu has to be very good, always we used to feel, 20-30 universities have to be good. But now onward, if this policy comes, it will be hundreds of colleges have to be good. Then only the higher education scenario will be better. So it is bottom-up model, not top to bottom. So in that bottom, all of the colleges like you're all part and parcel of that. Let us build, contribute, and make this policy a reality. Let us not go by other issues of language and things like that. That will always be there. What is very important is the future of our young people, and we can try to go forward. And if there is an opportunity, you please let me know. I again thank you for having given me this opportunity. And I also wish to take this opportunity to wish all of you many, many happy returns of Teachers' Day. Namaskar.
Thank you, Professor Sridhar, for your excellent inputs you have given us. And also, we also thank you for the assurance you have given that you are ready for the question and answer session one more time in the week or in the future. We appreciate that, sir. Thank you. Since we don't have the time for the question and answer session, let me directly go to the vote of thanks. I think Karthik sir, we will have as a moderator, Karthik sir was assigned to moderate, and he will do it in the question and answer session. And dear friends, education is fundamental for achieving full human potential, developing an equitable and just society, and promoting national development. Thus begins this national education policy. This statement very well reveals that the prime motto of national education policy is development of the nation. Education and development both goes hand in hand. A flawless education system makes a nation strong and powerful. If we turn the pages of history, civilization with a strong hold on education has sustained all infirmities. I firmly believe that today's webinar has inculcated the need of an efficient and effective education system. I thank the resource person, Professor M. Sridhar, for his eye-opening speech. Sir, you have guided us travel in the right direction. I am sure He has thrown light on the subtle details. Thank you, sir. I also thank the President, office bearers, and the members of ASFASM for their support and participation. And heroes of the day, my dear teaching community, first of all, I would like to congratulate you all for your tireless dedication during the pandemic. You have proved the fact that no technology can replace a teacher. Kudos to all of you. I wish you all a happy Teachers' Day. Let the journey continue. Thank you a lot.
Thank you everyone for your support and participation. Thank you.